Imagine a world where digital humans seamlessly interact with us, answering questions, engaging audiences, and even influencing trends. Today, we'll explore how AI-powered digital humans are built and optimize NVIDIA technologies. I'm Rodrigo Beseiro, CTO and founder of Marvik, an AI company specialized in developing advanced AI solutions for global enterprises, including multiple Fortune 500 clients. At Marvik, we work at the forefront of AI innovation, helping businesses harness the power of artificial intelligence to create intelligent, scalable, and impactful solutions. Before we dive in, let's take a quick look at today's agenda. We'll cover 5 key areas that will give you a full understanding of how AI-powered digital humans are built and optimized. We'll set the stage by defining what digital humans are, their role in various industries, and why they're becoming an essential part of AI-driven engagement. We'll also break down the core characteristics of digital humans, exploring how they combine digital realism, conversational AI, and adaptive intelligence to create immersive user experiences. We'll take a deep dive into the step-by-step process from designing an avatar's identity and personality to integrating multimodal AI models for perception, decision-making, and expression. Next, we'll explore the infrastructure needed to deploy digital humans at scale. This includes NVIDIA's AI stack, model optimization techniques, and real-time performance considerations for different use cases. Finally, we'll summarize key insights, highlighting how digital humans can be leveraged in real-world applications, along with best practices for building scalable, high-performance AI avatars. By the end of the session, you'll have a clear understanding of how digital humans work, how they are built, and how NVIDIA's technologies play a critical role in optimizing their performance. So let's get started. For centuries, humans have been storytellers, communicators, and connectors. Now, with AI, we're extending those capabilities beyond ourselves, creating digital humans that can engage, assist, and even entertain us in ways that feel remarkably real. These AI-powered avatars are no longer science fiction. They are transforming industries, providing customer support, driving digital influence, and even reshaping content creation. But how do they work? What makes them feel natural? And how can we build them at scale? Setting expectations for this session, we'll break down what digital humans are, how they work, and how NVIDIA's AI technologies make them feel more lifelike and scalable. Here's what we'll cover. We'll try to define what are digital humans for us. We'll also explore real-world examples. We'll describe the building process using generative AI and orchestration techniques. Also cover how to optimize those heavy workloads with NVIDIA. We'll also take a look at NVIDIA's ACE and what's next for digital humans as the next frontier in AI. By the end, you'll have a clear understanding how digital humans work and how to build them efficiently. The technologies we'll cover today include NVIDIA Viva for the automatic speech recognition and text-to-speech, NVIDIA's Avatar Cloud Engine, or ACE, for the animation and expression and audio-to-face. And lastly, NVIDIA NIMS, which was presented in last year's keynote at the GTC, and TensorRT for optimization and deployment. Of course, everything runs on top of NVIDIA GPUs too. So what are digital humans for us? Let's look at an example with this video.
Hi there, I'm Emily, a digital human designed to interact, learn, and engage just like you. Whether it's assisting, creating, or just having a conversation, I'm here to make AI feel more human. Let's explore what's possible together.
Notice how lifelike this digital human appears. It could easily be mistaken for a real person. While we're watching a video here, the same technology can be used to create realistic photos, blog content, social media personas, and more. The possibilities are endless. At their core, digital humans are AI-powered avatars designed to look, sound, and interact like real people. But they're more than just realistic visuals. They combine intelligence, adaptability, and, as far as we can, awareness to create engaging experiences. When creating a digital human, we must factor in that they must look realistic. In a split second, humans will decide if they interact with what we have created. We can create phrases with artifacts, for example, or robotic voices. They must be able to maintain conversations. This means understanding feedback and responding accordingly. as we humans do. Responses should be ideally real-time in many applications too. Also, your design should take into account that a person responds differently depending on who is talking to them. We want our digital humans to be more human and less robotic too. So that means adapting responses and personalizing experiences. Finally, remember that we are building something that has a great transformative potential for many industries. We need to be sensitive with the transformation and the potential impact it has on businesses and people. So let's get into how we actually build these things. The truth is that we're actually working on this for some of our clients, so we can't get too specific on the details, but we'll share 2 reference use cases for our conversation today. With these 2 cases, we hope to shed some light on some of the challenges we need to solve. First, let's talk about digital ambassadors. Virtual personalities with active lives on platforms like Instagram and TikTok. These AI-driven ambassadors need more than just a face. They need a compelling backstory, a personality, and the ability to create engaging content. Their goal is often to promote brands, but as we all know, people don't respond well to direct advertising. That means their engagement must feel natural, authentic. Secondly, when talking about some technical decisions, think that we can also create customer support avatars, like totems on physical stores or kiosks. And like influencers, they don't need a rich backstory or an evolving personality. Their primary goal is to provide quick, accurate answers. The challenge here is different. It's all about the real-time interaction. While social media avatars can take a few seconds or minutes to generate a response, customer support avatars must process and reply instantly to keep the conversation smooth and natural. Despite their differences, both use cases share some fundamental needs. They require realistic AI-generated visuals, a strong and consistent identity, and a combination of face, voice, and personality to make interactions feel human-like. With that in mind, let's explore the process of actually building them. The different use cases we just mentioned have some different needs, but some fundamentals are shared between them. Their faces, expressions, and overall look, whether hyper-realistic or stylized, needs to match their purpose. A digital ambassador might need a pixel-perfect appearance, mimicking real-life persons, while customer support avatars could take on a simpler, more functional look. Some applications even work better with cartoon-like representations. That choice is up to us and our clients, of course, but once we define it, we need to preserve their identity consistently across every interaction. But a digital human isn't about visuals. How they sound plays a huge role in how they are perceived. Their tone, cadence, and speech patterns must feel natural, engaging, and suited to their personality. We've all heard robotic AI voices before, and let's be honest, no one enjoys talking to something that sounds lifeless. To build trust and engagement, digital humans need voices that feel alive, whether that means a warm, friendly assistant or a confident and authoritative expert. Beyond their voice, their entire personality must be carefully crafted. A social media avatar needs to feel dynamic and relatable, while a customer support agent should be precise and helpful. Their environment also plays a role. Whether they're interacting on Instagram, a website, or through a physical totem, they need to understand the context of their interactions and respond accordingly. Finally, all of this, appearance, voice, personality, and context, needs to be consistent across every platform. A user interacting with a digital ambassador on Instagram should experience the same character and tone when engaging with them on a website or in a live-streamed event. Without consistency, the illusion of a real unified personality falls apart. So, creating a digital human isn't about generating an image or a voice. It's about orchestrating all of these components to create a seamless, believable experience. To summarize, when creating a digital ambassador, quality matters. Every small detail counts: the way they look, the way they move, even the subtle nuances in their expressions. To make people truly emphasize with them, they need to feel lifelike and polished, not just visually impressive, but believable. The good news, we're not racing against a clock. Unlike real-time applications, we have the luxury of time when generating these avatars. That means that we can refine their appearance, adjust any inconsistencies, and even set up an approval workflow, whether that's human-reviewed, an AI-driven quality check, or a mix of both. Anything can be polished before being published. Another key difference is that, unlike simpler applications, a digital ambassador requires both a face and a full-body identity. And that identity needs to be consistent over time too. We can't have an avatar appearing thin one day and heavier the next day, or randomly changing facial features. Even small details like tattoos or molds need to be accounted for, because if they suddenly disappear or shift places, it breaks the illusion of realism. So while we have more control over quality in this case, it also comes with a responsibility to ensure our digital ambassador is not only visually appealing, but also consistent, reliable, and engaging over time. How do we actually build this? You could try to make everything from scratch, and there are some great companies out there doing that. Or we can try a more cost-effective approach and build on top of existing open source models. Regardless if it's fine-tuned or off-the-shelf, here are some models and keywords you can use and look for with Apache or MIT license. Flux, Stable Diffusion XL, which can be combined with Dreamweaver and LoRa for the image generation. Dreamweaver and LoRa are techniques you can use to fine-tune the models without having a huge dataset or immense training costs. These two can also be combined with realistic vision. When it comes to video generation, we have several powerful tools, including Face Fusion, Live Portrait, Animate Anyone, Mimic Motion, Control Next. This allows us to bring realistic images, static images to life, enable realistic facial expressions and movements. Now, fine-tuning one of these models for your specific application can be cheaper and more efficient with techniques like LoRa. But keep in mind, it requires expert knowledge. On the other hand, off-the-shelf models can deliver great results quickly, but they can come with limitations in flexibility and customization. The key is to choose wisely. Whatever approach you take, always think about scalability, because what works well for a proof of concept might not be enough when you scale up. Now, getting to the real specifics, taking a real example, these are the image generations we use to create the video you saw at the beginning of this presentation. When creating a digital human, you'll start by creating a picture of the face. But here's a key tip. Don't just create one, create multiple ones. Creating multiple variations allows greater flexibility when generating different types of content later on. Think of these images as the digital ID of the AI persona, the foundational seed that will be used across countless future generations. Now, at this stage, a lot can go wrong. Take a look at this example. We generated this image by crafting a prompt of the persona we wanted to build and then using Stable Diffusion to bring it to life. This process works well for individual cases, but what happens when you need to scale? Imagine generating hundreds of thousands of unique avatars. At that level, even the prompt generation can be automated, allowing for massive scalability. But there's a catch. While automation speeds things up, it also introduces challenges. We've been working with generative AI for a long time, and one of the things we've learned is that detecting imperfections automatically is incredibly difficult. Subtle artifacts, distorted features, inconsistencies, or even strange visual glitches aren't always easy to catch with AI alone. Automating quality control at scale is a tough mathematical problem, and despite all of the advancements, there is still no perfect solution. So, if you're thinking about automating this process, keep that in mind. While AI can generate, refine, and scale digital humans, ensuring quality and realism still requires careful oversight and expert fine-tuning. Now, when it comes to customer support avatars, priorities shift. Unlike digital ambassadors, where the fine details and high realism are key, these avatars are designed to be simple, functional, and fast. One major difference, they don't need high resolution, since their primary role is to assist and provide information. Their appearance doesn't have to be hyper-detailed or lifelike. Instead, we focus on clarity and consistency, ensuring they are recognizable and professional-looking without requiring extensive computational power. Speed is another critical factor. Low latency is essential because these avatars need to respond instantly. While a social media digital human can take a few seconds or even minutes to generate content, a customer support avatar has to generate a response in real time, handling user queries without delay. To achieve this balance between efficiency and quality, these avatars are typically generated using 2D or 3D representations, AI-generated faces, or even animated icons. The choice depends on the platform and the level of engagement required, but the goal remains the same: to provide a seamless, efficient, and responsive user experience. So, while these avatars don't require the same level of intricate detailing as digital ambassadors, they come with their own challenges, mainly ensuring speed, consistency, and usability without sacrificing clarity. Now, let's explore how we optimize them for real-time interaction. Let's look at the building blocks. Here, we're using audio-to-face from NVIDIA. It converts a stream audio to facial blend shapes for real-time lip syncing and facial performances in case you want to go down the 3D route. Instead, if you're going with the 2D approach, as we showed before, the prompt needs to be adapted. There's an example of a generation using stable diffusion. Remember that this image will work as a seed for future generations. We could play with other stuff here as well, as the background, as it's highly likely that we'll just animate the face. Now that we've covered the visual aspects, let's focus on something just as crucial: voice identity. A customer support avatar isn't just there to look professional, it also needs to sound clear, natural, and reliable. In a live support setting, clarity isn't optional, it's essential. If an avatar's voice is robotic or difficult to understand, the entire experience falls apart. To make these voices as natural as possible, we use text-to-speech models, which allow the avatar to generate responses in real time while maintaining a smooth conversational tone. The goal is to create a voice that is not only easy to understand, but also feels human enough to put users at ease. People expect a quick and effortless interaction when seeking support, and a well-designed voice can make the process seamless. On one hand, tools like 11 Labs have amazing results, but you can deploy that on-premise. Hugging Face has the best starting point in case you want to go host the models yourself on the other hand. But a voice alone isn't enough. Context matters. A customer support avatar doesn't operate in isolation. It exists within a specific environment, trained to answer questions efficiently and professionally, unlike a digital ambassadors, which thrives on personality and engagement. A support avatar is built for one primary purpose: to deliver accurate, helpful information in the shortest time possible. That means it needs to understand and process information correctly, whether answering basic FAQs, guiding users through troubleshooting steps, or directing them to the right department. Its knowledge base must be precise and continuously updated. Without that, even the most natural-sounding voice won't be useful. And finally, there's the issue of consistency. No matter where a customer interacts with the avatar, whether on a website, mobile app, or even a physical kiosk, it should sound and respond the same way every time. A voice that varies too much across the different platforms can break the user's trust and make interactions feel disjointed. Maintaining a steady tone, pace, and manner of speaking ensures that users feel like they're talking to the same reliable assistant, no matter where they're engaging with. Think of Siri, with the same voice no matter how you access it. This can be a challenge if you are mixing an on-premise experience with a cloud one to try to meet the real-time requirements. So, while generating a voice may seem straightforward, making it clear, effective, and consistent across all interactions takes careful design. Now, let's take a look at how these avatars actually interact with their environment. Let's take a moment to recap and start putting all of the pieces together. So far, we've generated a face and a voice, the foundation of our digital human. But let's not just talk about it, let's hear it in action.
Hi there, I'm your digital ambassador, here to keep you informed and engaged.
With a face and a voice in place, the next step is to create the persona, a fully developed character with a life story, interest, a daily routine that makes interactions feel authentic. This isn't just about giving them a name. It's about shaping their identity in a way that makes them believable and consistent across different conversations. Large language models can be incredibly useful here, helping to generate detailed backgrounds, natural dialogue, and realistic personality traits. But just like with image and voice generation, they need a seed to start from, a carefully crafted foundation that ensures that the AI doesn't create something completely random or inconsistent. We are getting closer to the point where we can use this identity to generate content automatically and at scale. Now, let's shift the focus to the customer support avatar and what makes it different. Unlike a digital ambassador, this type of AI needs to operate in real time, meaning every response must be generated instantly. When speed is critical, even network latency can be a bottleneck, which is why on-premise processing might be necessary. In these cases, Jetson devices can be a great solution, providing the power needed to handle AI workloads locally without relying on cloud infrastructure. Because of these real-time constraints, we often have to balance realism with performance. A highly detailed, lifelike avatar requires more computational resources, can slow down interactions. On the other hand, a simpler, less realistic design can significantly improve latency, making interactions smoother and more efficient. As with everything, it's a trade-off. More realism means higher computational cost, while a more streamlined approach prioritizes speed. So, what does a fast, less resource-intensive avatar look like in practice? Let's take a look.
Thanks for letting me know. It sounds like you're dealing with a frozen, unresponsive screen. I'll create a ticket for you so a support specialist can assist you. Hang tight. Someone will be with you shortly to help resolve this issue.
We generated the personas. Now, let's start interacting with the environment. This implies, first of all, understanding the inputs, which can be text, voice, images, or gestures. About in social media, we need to read comments, where a physical kiosk can have a camera that is looking at the person in front of them. Once we have the signals to process, we need to decode what is being asked. This means understanding, most likely using LLMs, which can be again slow to process, and generating an appropriate response. Finally, we need to transform the generated response into the required output, which can be as simple text in a comment in social media or as complex as an animated voice with an avatar with a facelift. This is a loop that starts all over again once the user reacts to the generated output. Now, let's get hands-on with some specific use cases for digital ambassadors, interacting with content from others. This goes beyond simple text-based responses. It involves processing multimodal inputs, meaning the AI must analyze different types of media. In this case, it's watching a video, forming an opinion, and preparing a response that aligns with its persona.
Can we talk about how amazing this place is? The ambiance, the attention to detail, everything feels so elegant yet inviting. The way the wine is served, the beautifully set tables, even the open kitchen, it's all about the experience. You can tell this is the kind of place where every little detail is designed to make your meal unforgettable. Who's putting this on their list of must-dos? Because I know I am.
What's particularly impressive here is how the model is able to understand the context of the video without explicit instructions. Notice how it recognizes the setting as a restaurant, even though the information wasn't provided directly. It also interprets the actions happening in the scene, something that was extremely difficult to achieve not too long ago. It even picks up on subtle details, like the atmosphere, being sophisticated and well curated, a level of contextual awareness that makes AI-generated content far more insightful and relevant. At this stage, the focus is generating an objective analysis. The AI isn't generating a response yet. It's simply understanding and structuring the information accurately. This is crucial because any decision we make later on, whether it's crafting a comment or generating spoken dialogue, must be based on reliable, high-quality data. If the initial interpretation is wrong, everything that follows will be wrong too. So, with that in mind, let's take a look at this video and the multimodal output the model generates. It serves as an input to the next step, decision-making and expressions, where we shape the final response and bring it to life. Where do we go from here? Now that we have the summary of the content, we bring it together with the persona we built and a carefully crafted prompt to generate a review. All of this is fed into the LLM, which then produces the review in text format. What makes this process powerful is that the persona information plays a key role in shaping the response. Since we've defined their likes and dislikes, their opinion won't be just generic. It will be aligned with their personality. If the persona enjoys fine dining, they might praise a high-end restaurant. But if they prefer a more casual atmosphere, the reaction will reflect that instead. This is why the objective analysis from the previous step is so important. It ensures that any response we generate is based on the accurate and unbiased data. The same piece of content can lead to completely different reactions depending on the persona experiencing it. And that's what makes a digital human feel real. They don't just analyze content, they react to it in a way that's uniquely their own. Now that we have the script for our social media post, the next step is to bring it to life visually and audibly. This is where the seed images of our digital ambassador become essential. Instead of starting from scratch, we use these initial images as a foundation and generate a new one that fits the specific post. The goal is to maintain consistency while introducing variations, whether that's a change in clothing, a different background, or subtle adjustments to match the context of the post. With the text ready, we then generate an audio signal using text-to-speech technology. But this isn't just any voice, it's the unique, recognizable voice of the digital ambassador, ensuring that every piece of social media post of content is consistent and aligned with the persona. Now, we take the newly generated image and pair it with the audio to create a video, where the ambassador is speaking the content naturally. We could even add background music that drives engagement in social media. Finally, to get more engaging reactions, we generate comments using an LLM, making the interaction feel even more organic. At this point, everything is in place: the video, the voice, and the conversation around it, making it ready for social media publication. This process in place, now we're ready to scale effortlessly, generating personalized reactions to different contents in a fraction of the time and cost it would take a human. What once required manual effort can now be automated, allowing for rapid, high-quality content creation at scale, all while maintaining consistency and authenticity. We won't go through the entire step-by-step process again, but here's the final output of our customer support avatar in action.
Could you please describe the issue you're facing?
Yes, my connection is completely down.
I understand, Alice. It seems like you're experiencing a total loss of internet connectivity. I will guide you to our technical support queue. Your token number is D0107.
In this example, the avatar is assisting a user experiencing internet connectivity issues. Watch how it efficiently opens a support ticket and provides a tracking ID, ensuring the customer gets the help they need all in real time and with a seamless, natural interaction. Of course, this isn't a human, but it's a far more engaging and effective experience than a traditional chatbot. When customers reach to our support, they are often frustrated and look for immediate help, not endless wait times. A digital human provides a more natural and responsive interaction, offering assistance in a way that feels conversational and helpful. And beyond just the customer experience, think about the efficiency gains. With this in place, scaling your support team becomes significantly more cost-effective, reducing wait times while handling more inquiries simultaneously, all without the overhead of hiring and training additional staff. It's about making the customer support faster, smarter, and more accessible at scale. Next, let's recap what we've just seen, but from a technical perspective, and let's share some tips in case you want to build this. Some important considerations in case you want to build something like this on your own. Firstly, models evolve really fast. A microservice architecture or a monolithic one allows you to decouple the specific models you are using from the end-to-end pipeline. You want to adapt to new, faster, more realistic and smarter models over time. Second, managing the seed data that fuels the digital human's identity is critical. This includes images, voice samples, and personality traits that serve as inputs across multiple components. Avoid hard-coding this data directly into the codebase. Otherwise, scaling and improving your models will become a painful process. Instead, build a structured, flexible way to store and retrieve this information dynamically. Next, think about scalability from day one. If your digital humans are doing their job well, demand will grow, and you'll need to scale horizontally to keep up. Given the heavy computational requirements, designing an efficient work queue system will be crucial to balance resources and ensure smooth performance. And finally, don't overlook quality control. AI generation happens in multiple stages, and catching errors early can save massive amounts of time and compute. If a generated text response feels off, you won't want to waste resources creating an entire video only to realize that you need to redo it. Implement smart QA checks at different points in the pipeline, so mistakes can be caught and corrected before unnecessary processing happens. This also helps integrating seamlessly with a human review workflow you might want to put in place. Building digital humans is complex, but with the right architecture, data management, scalability strategy, and quality control, you can create a flexible and future-proof system that evolves with the technology. Another crucial step is to create structured recipes for how you'll generate content. If you want to scale content automation effectively, you need a clear, repeatable process, whether it's generating photos or videos for platforms like Instagram or handling more complex multimodal interaction. Think of these recipes as the AI equivalent of human perception, decision-making, and response generation. Just as a person sees, processes, and reacts to their environment, your digital human needs a structured pipeline to handle content creation seamlessly. Each step in this pipeline might require a combination of advanced AI models, from image generation to speech synthesis, and even multimodal models that can analyze video and generate insightful reviews. By designing these recipes up front, you're not only making scaling easier. The more structured your approach, the more efficient, adaptable, and intelligent your system will become over time. In our case, doing this meant first analyzing which interactions draw more engagement in our user base, from real personas first, and only then automating their jobs. This also meant saying no to less engaging content, as the state-of-the-art still doesn't allow us to generate just any type of reaction. So, what does the architecture actually look like? It all starts with a trigger. This could be as simple as a cron job, scheduling content, or as dynamic as a user reaction on social media. Once triggered, a job is queued, and when it begins processing, it retrieves the necessary identity data from the associated persona. This ensures that every piece of generated content remains consistent with the digital human's appearance, voice, and style. From there, the system begins generating the required assets. The orchestration process can be either sequential or parallel, depending on the type of content being generated. Some steps naturally flow in a strict order, while others, like image and voice generation, can run simultaneously to improve efficiency. If you are working at scale, batch processing becomes an essential optimization. Instead of handling each generation individually, you can group multiple requests together, reducing computational overhead and speeding up production. This is especially useful when generating large volumes of content, ensuring the system remains efficient and cost-effective. Ultimately, the architecture is designed to be flexible and scalable, adapting to different content types while optimized for speed and resource efficiency. Some other tips when working with digital ambassadors: use Kubernetes to orchestrate and Kida for auto-scaling. It allows you to dynamically adjust resources driven by events. Turn off resources when idle if the servers run on your cloud. It can impact on your cloud provider's bill significantly. It will most likely not be a 24/7 generation, as humans are not 24/7 operational either. Lastly, process asynchronously when possible. It allows you to inject QA steps more easily in case you identify that you need those. Now, tips for the customer support avatars. Prioritize speed. Above all, it plays a huge role in customer satisfaction. Designed for that, there will be some trade-off involved. Consider small language models instead of large language models. Those can be a bottleneck in the processing time. Top video quality is still not supported in real time. It can be soon enough, but we're not there yet. Factor that in when setting the business expectation too. Lastly, be smart when deciding how accurate or realistic you want avatar to be versus how fast you want to generate a response. There's a sweet spot you can pursue that allows you to build a production-ready application. NVIDIA ACE is a suite of digital human technologies, optimized and easy to deploy using NIMs. It can be integrated into your application for what you'll need the microservice architecture we've just discussed. It uses Nemotron SLM and LLM NIMs for the LLM part to understand the user's intent, Viva Speech for interactive speech and translation, Audio to Face for the animation, and Omniverse RTX for neural rendering of details like skin. NVIDIA NIMs also run on NVIDIA GDN, a global network that allows you low latency regardless of where you are. Downside of ACE is that it is still in early access, but you can design your architecture in a way that it is easy to integrate later on, and even start using some of the pieces like Viva that are already available. Lastly, some takeaways. Some important names to remember include Flux and Stable Diffusion for the image generation part, Audio to Face, Live Portrait, and Animate Anyone for the video generation. LLMs evolve fast, and there are many options to use. Just remember to look into small language models like Nemotron SLM2. NVIDIA ACE promises to solve many of the issues. It is still in early access, so you'll probably have to wait a little bit longer so you can actually start using it. But you can put the pieces together yourself, or at least some of them. An important advice is to use NIMs when possible. This is something broader than just digital humans. It applies to whatever you're building using AI. This is just not the exception. Throughout this presentation, we've explored two powerful use cases, where digital humans have the potential to drive real transformation: digital ambassadors and customer support avatars. While both leverage AI-driven personas, their requirements are different. One focuses on engagement and content creation, while the other prioritizes speed and real-time interaction. These differences translate into distinct generation strategies, with a trade-off in realism, performance, and scalability. Some technologies can be applied to both, but the right approach depends on your scale, your latency needs, and use case-specific challenges. That's why a modular design is key. Building a flexible system that allows you to adapt to new AI advancements without having to rebuild everything from scratch. As AI models continue to evolve, this flexibility ensures your solution stays future-proof. And one final piece of advice: don't reinvent the wheel. Technology landscape is moving fast, and instead of spending time building everything from the ground up, focus on what truly matters: optimizing the user experience and aligning AI capabilities with your business needs. Work with experts who understand this space, leverage the best technologies available, and move fast to gain momentum in this rapidly evolving field. I hope you've enjoyed this talk. We've shared some of our experiences in building and optimizing pipelines of digital humans. It's an exciting and rapidly evolving field, and there's still so much more to explore. I'm Rodrigo Becerro from Marvik, and if you'd like to continue this conversation or learn more, our contact information is right there on the slide. Feel free to reach out. We'd love to hear your thoughts and discuss how digital humans can fit into your roadmap.